Look what they've done to me. They've taken away my life.
We begin tonight with the frustration and desperation of a local veteran who is fighting tooth and nail to regain his identity after his bank declared him dead. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8 Shannon Handy is working for you on this story. She has details on how the bank is now responding after our calls.
This whole saga started back in 2019. The man who wants to remain anonymous says Bank of America declared him dead, which had a domino effect. 5 years later, he's still fighting to get his money and his identity back.
If they say you're dead and they send out that information, you're dead, you're cut off. I'm cut off from life.
At 61 years old, this disabled Navy veteran envisioned having a peaceful retirement life. Instead, he says the past 5 years have been a living nightmare, all because of his mistaken death.
I can't get a car, I can't get a loan, I can't open up any other accounts, I can't buy a house, I can't do anything.
In 2019, he was living in Mexico while recovering from cancer surgery when he claims his Bank of America ATM card suddenly stopped working.
And I called B of A and they transferred me to one person who asked me a lot of questions, and then they transferred me to someone else, and the questions became more personal. And I said, what is going on? And she says, we received a phone call that you're deceased, and almost fainted.
He tells me the person on the phone told him his son had called the bank. He doesn't have a son, yet it was reportedly enough to block his accounts.
This is the bank. I mean, who declares people dead without a death certificate?
After a lot of back and forth, he thought the issue had been resolved.
These are 3 of the letters.
In one letter he showed me, dated in January of 2019, Bank of America apologized and assured him the mistake had been corrected. Yet days later, their estate department reached out to his so-called estate requesting a death certificate.
There's approximately 12,000 people inaccurately reported as deceased every year.
David Shammy is the managing partner with Consumer Attorneys PLC. While he did not work on this case, I asked him who's to blame when these things happen. He says sometimes it's human error or revenge when someone reports your death knowing it could ruin your life. Something it's not, identity fraud.
There's no benefit in telling the bank that someone is dead if you're trying to steal their identity. If you're trying to steal their identity, you don't want them dead because then their credit will get shut down.
Shammy says if this happens to you, contact the Social Security Administration as well as an attorney. The man in this story did both and last year reached an agreement with B of A to get his accounts back, which he says contain an estimated $8,000. This has yet to happen. So I reached out to B of A. A spokesperson said in part, we promptly corrected the error and we resolved adverse credit reporting to the 4 credit reporting bureaus as promised. I emailed back asking if they plan to follow up, which they say they will. I'll check back to make sure. Working for you,
I want to be made whole.
I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
What a story. Thanks, Shannon. And remember, if there's something you'd like us to look into, please email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
A California appeals court is upholding bans on gun sales at county fairs and other state-owned property, like the Del Mar Fairgrounds. A federal judge blocked enforcement of 2 laws back in October, ruling they violated rights of sellers and would-be gun buyers. But today, the 9th District Court of Appeals ruled the bans do not violate those rights, adding that buyers and sellers remain free to conduct their business elsewhere. In a statement, Governor Gavin Newsom called today's ruling a victory for gun safety and a victory for all Californians. Just into our newsroom, the San Diego City Council has just unanimously approved Mayor Todd Gloria's proposed budget for the next fiscal year.
The budget includes millions for stormwater infrastructure, fixing the roads, and addressing the homelessness crisis. CBS 8's Richard Allen joins us live tonight with this update. And Richard, I understand you have Council President Sean Elo Rivera with you.
Well, that's right, and the council just unanimously passed this $5.8 billion budget. What did it take to pass this budget?
A lot of hard work, from the community, to be honest, to make sure that we didn't forget about what the most pressing needs in the city were. The mayor did the best he could with the proposed budget. The community showed up and let the council know what changes need to be made, and today was what we needed to get things across the finish line in a way that takes care of everyone in San Diego, especially the most vulnerable.
Because you got very emotional when you were making your comments up there about a lot of the cuts that were originally proposed. We heard from a lot of community members over the past couple months. What really stuck with you the most, and what is in this budget that wasn't in the original budget proposed a couple months back?
Yeah, I think some of the things that really stand out to me are investments in our youth, right? Especially youth from communities that have been under me in the heart. Some of our homelessness prevention, we are going to keep families in their homes. These are seniors, these are people with children, these are people with disabilities who, if they end up on the streets, would be super vulnerable. It's investments like the folks who are going to be doing specialized outreach with the people who are most sick and most in need on our streets. When you think about what that looks like in action, it pulls at my heartstrings. That's why I do this job, is to be able to make those investments, and I'm really glad we were able to do that today.
Gotcha. A couple of the big ticket items are the mega shelter in Middletown and also the safe parking site at H Barracks. I mean, how important is that to put that into this budget?
Well, what we did is we created the opportunity for those to be funded. We haven't made a decision on
We apologize. Our signal is breaking up. That's Richard Allen live downtown outside of City Council, where the council members just approved unanimously Mayor Todd Gloria's proposed budget for the next fiscal year. Stay with CBS 8 for the very latest on the San Diego's final budget. We will have posted on our website at cbs8.com all the updates, or you can download our free CBS 8 app.
Maps showing locations of short-term rentals in San Diego are causing a stir on social media.
CBS 8's David Gottfredson spoke to a data expert about what these maps show and why he says changes in San Diego's short-term rental ordinance should be made.
The concentration is surprising.
The map getting all the attention on social media shows hundreds of short-term vacation rentals in Ocean Beach. "We have a housing shortage. Why do we allow this?" said one online comment. "Nothing to see here. It's only 1% of housing. It has no effect whatsoever on our housing prices and crisis," said another comment. Jay Goldberg has been analyzing the city of San Diego's short-term rental locations for a year and a half and posting maps on his website, niceneighbors.org.
For Ocean Beach, you're talking about 6.2% of all dwelling units in Ocean Beach currently licensed as short-term rentals.
He generally agrees that vacation rentals are taking away housing from San Diego residents.
It's feeding into the housing crisis both in terms of supply of housing available and also the price of housing.
But not all short-term rentals are rented out year-round, so some of those addresses on the map generally do not affect the housing crisis. Jay says the real problem is loopholes in the city's ordinance that allows owners to license multiple units using the names of family members.
The market has been overrun with corporate operators who run more than one property, who are doing this as an investment opportunity to capture the most amount of revenue they can.
He says he's also seen long-term tenants evicted from condo complexes or even apartment buildings so the properties can be converted to short-term rentals.
There's no limit to the number of units in a building that an owner can convert to short-term rentals, nor is there really a law that prevents an owner from evicting tenants to convert to short-term rentals.
The city of San Diego told me there are more than 8,600 short-term rental licenses citywide. A city council committee is set to review the state of the short-term rental ordinance late next month. If you want to look up those maps and see where the short-term rentals are in your neighborhood, go to cbs8.com. In South Mission Beach, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. New data shows that San Diego's home prices are down just a little while sales continue to grow. According to the Greater San Diego Association of Realtors, the median price of single-family homes dropped less than 1% from April to May, settling at just under $1.1 million. Meanwhile, sales grew almost 4.5% last month. The price of condos and townhomes stayed about the same at $700,000, while sales in that segment grew more than 7%.
June is Brain Health Awareness Month, and to help educate the public, the local nonprofit Alzheimer San Diego hosted its free annual Date with a Cure virtual forum today. And this year, there was an energy of optimism thanks to newly approved drug therapies to treat and slow the disease. One drug endorsed by a panel of advisors to the FDA just yesterday.
It's an exciting era. I think the next year it's really going to be a matter of operationalizing these two drugs, lecanemab and donanemab, and getting them out to the public. Actually getting these delivered to people in a proper way.
I had the honor of moderating the 2-hour forum this morning where 7 local doctors and researchers from Sharp, UCSD, USC, Sanford Burnham Prebys, and Excel Research answered questions from the public about Alzheimer's and the fight for a cure. The panelists stressed the importance of clinical trials where they can learn more about the disease and encourage people to take part, especially people of color who are underrepresented in those trials.
I would like to see much more inclusive cohorts in our trials. I think that diversity in the science, enriches our findings, enriches our understanding of disease, but enriches our ability to target disease.
The researchers all agree a proper diet, getting enough exercise, and at least 7 hours of sleep a night is crucial in maintaining good brain health. For more information on free resources from Alzheimer's San Diego, visit the help button at cbs8.com.
They can help you get involved in some of those research clinical trials, which is a huge source of information. It's value you bring to them.
And I've been talking about it because my mom had Alzheimer's disease. I would be interested in taking part in clinical trials if I was a candidate, but the hardest barrier is just making that phone call and signing up.
Right.
And then after you sign up, you'll get emails about clinical trials that maybe you are interested in taking part in. So I was encouraging people and I have to do it myself, just sign up and see what happens.
It's an exciting time. I'm sure you could feel the excitement with the different researchers. We finally have some therapies. This is new in this past year or so. It's the first time we have drugs that do anything to actually slow the progress. So it's a gateway, hopefully, to much more and much better.
First time ever. It's amazing.
More Latinos are growing concerned about their finances. We're going to tell you why and what else a new study found. That's still ahead.
Plus, later, we take you inside America's largest fusion lab right here in San Diego.
Why does the ocean look so dirty? The red tide will tell you what it's all about.
That's an absolutely beautiful live shot for Abby, but you can't help but notice you got the cloud cover in the background. Yeah, this is our view from our Mount Soledad camp. Why we continue to see that, as well as some patchy drizzle. All those details coming up.